Hello everyone and welcome to another Hardened Scales video. I'm Mr. Suri and today we're going to be looking again into the black-green scales without Omnitotters or any of those weird ass flying dudes that they didn't really pan out so well last league. The deck's very similar to what we've been running in the past. Only changes I've made, I added one Nurturing Peatland to get some more black and green sorcerers into the deck. And I have, that's the only change basically. And I've got both animation models to try out something different, and this time I'm trying a welding jar, one welding jar and one unearth. So that's the two changes we're having in the deck. Sideboard is the same as before. I think this works. I don't see a reason to change it. I removed Urborg last week and I was heavily punished for it. The only thing I am worried about, well, I'm worried about many things, but this is something I'm slightly worried about. Okay, this maybe not here. We go to the Decklist, MTGO. So, what the hell? MTGO Decklist. So if you go to the Wizards page, it's actually updated faster than the other page, the MTG Goldfish. So, this deck, no, not this deck. That deck is also a nauseum. What? I cannot find. There's a lot of Eldrazi Tron, like at least in that game, in that list, that super qualified. There was a lot of Eldrazi Tron. I think we have the tools to deal with that, so that's not my main concern. But it is this deck. This deck is, you know, it's. I think I saw this deck so much lately. It's a black, red, burn, prowess, whatever you want to call it. It's not really burn, because if you look at it, Tron really has 4 lightning bolts and 2 Colligan's Command cards that can actually deal damage directly to your opponent, and I guess Seal of Fire. The rest is just these prowess creatures, discard spells, and cling to dust. This card was amazing. This card really did all the work against that last game. So, what they do, I'm guessing, is that they even write Bloodmoon on the sideboard, super spicy, and wear and tear. So basically they try to remove all your creatures with Fatal Pushes and Colligan's Command, and Colligan's Command is really strong against Hardened Scales, of course. And then they beat you down with this dude. You know, these guys don't care if you're casting Vicious Bubble, you're casting Cling to Dust, or if you're casting a Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. And you know, by removing our creatures, we have no blockers, then they connect for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. You know, they just kill us really, really fast. Also, Cling to Dust has this escape ability, so once you get a lot of mana, you can continuously recycle it. So that's a good reason not to be running Path to Exile right now. These guys will use the mana properly, they will use the mana effectively, and then we will lose the game and wonder why. So to combat this, I'm thinking, should we bring in Veil of Summer against this deck? And my answer is maybe yes. I mean, they're running 4 Fatal Pushes, 4 discard spells, Call Against Command. Yeah, maybe it's worth it to bring in at least 1 Veil of Summer, if not 2. They're running also Collective Brutality, Extra Subseason, and Wear and Tear on the sideboard. So they really are prepared for dealing with artifacts and enchantments, and we have both. So really hard deck to beat. Hard deck to beat. I was pretty comfortable against the red-white version. I felt like I was always kind of winning that matchup, but this black version really strong. Also Lurrus, I mean, Lurrus in this deck is just amazing. Basically, it's even better than other decks, other burn decks, because they use extra cards so well, like extra mana that you can use with Cling to Dust, Call Against Command, and basically recycling any of these creatures is generally game over. If they start recycling Abbots of Keep when they have lots of mana, you're toast. But yeah, I'm actually almost sure I'm going to bring in the Nihil Spellbombs against this deck. So let's see if we face it. These are leagues. We have Spellskite. Spellskite, I mean, Spellskite can be really good against Lightning Bolt. You know, you can redirect the Lightning Bolt to Spellskite and it doesn't die. Some of those decks are also running Lava Dart. I don't know what are they cutting for Lava Dart, maybe the Fatal Pushes. So I'm pretty sure the Nihil Spellbombs could, at least the Nihil Spellbombs could be seeing use against that deck, that's for sure. Let's try it. I think this deck feels great. I don't know, I got the animation models because basically against these faster decks, animation model was not a card. And even against the slower decks like Urza decks or Yorion decks basically in all their thing. It's just too slow. Yorion decks right now, they have way too much value built into them, so you cannot outgrind them with 1/1s. And sometimes they're playing Scapeshift and they're just killing you, so you don't really have time to just play a one, like cast a Ballista, make a 1/1, next turn put a counter on the Hangarback Walker, make a 1/1. That's not going to cut it. That's too slow. And that's, yeah. One thing I cut is one Land of Reborn. I added one untap spell. So I can change one Land of Reborn for a Phyrexian score, because I find that I want to have access to more untap sources. So this, we have 21 untap sources, plus the 3 Spling-Leaf Drums. Anyway, let's get into a leak. That's what we're playing against. Very exciting. I got completely demolished yesterday. I felt like I only won the games against really Bruce or somebody that was tired of playing against Hardened Scales. And I lost almost everything else. I also lost the Modern Challenge extremely badly. I got mega wrecked there. I was playing red-green mid-range, and it just felt that my cards didn't line up well with the opponents. And also that I feel like I actually drew like kind of poorly, honestly. Say you put 2 Data Sagas for the grindy matchups and then you never see them, and I did some mistakes. So like the combination of mistakes, not drawing very great, and also sometimes you will draw great, and even though you have mistakes, it doesn't matter. You make mistakes, doesn't matter. But in this case, even through like a less than ideal play, if you have like bad hands, you're doomed. And also matches felt quite hard. So hopefully I have a bit better luck today. Let's say I was a bit down. I was like, when I finished, it's like, man, I mean, I went 5-0 with that deck, and then 2 days later, I'm not even able to. I won 1 match, and it was a mirror, I think. So imagine. Just felt like Luca felt really strong, but just felt like, yeah, like I just didn't have the answers for this black-red deck. I didn't have the answers for the what's that called? That deck, the As Foretold Electro Dominance deck. I just felt completely owned by all those decks. So, which I think a lot of times is also due to just draw. Sometimes if you draw like the really strong part of your deck, like sometimes that's the thing. It's hard to evaluate decks on small data, because if you draw the right portion of your deck and your opponent does the wrong portion, you just steamroll them and you're like, okay, my deck is great. But then sometimes you don't. Okay, so we're playing first. We're against Anar Lizarracoa. Maybe they are from the Basque Country. Okay, so we have a decent hand. I mean, not amazing. I don't think this hand, nobody would call it like an amazing hand. But we got turn 1 play, we got variety of turn 2 plays that we can make. We're on the play, so being super fast doesn't matter so much. So if we're not needing to catch up, basically, we're already ahead. And opponent didn't show our companion, which is worrisome. It's worrisome. So I'm just gonna play the Nanowar Waste first. So in case I draw a untap source that doesn't make me take damage. Oh, we're playing against Urza Tron. So they did mulligan and they're playing Tron. So maybe we're against Eldrazi Tron. So see, we drew a untap black source. That makes us so we can actually not take damage from our 2-drop turn 2. And I'm thinking, so if we play Hangarback Walker this time, we can add a counter to it and play Throne of Gethron after. It's probably good. So I'm gonna play the Hangarback Walker and get in with the Worker. Maybe they have Tron and they can start casting like super big spells, but the Sack Owls are really strong against, for example, Conliberated. And Hangarback Walker is also very strong against their big threats. So it looks like they will have Tron turn 3. Quite scary on a no mulligan. So oh man, I'm not lying today. This changes literally every time I turn on MTGO. Just kind of funny. So most likely they'll pop the map, but anyway, I'm gonna play the Throne of Geth just in case I want to dismember or something. I can. And probably most likely gonna play the Worker and get in with these two. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna do pre-combat. I don't know why, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter, I should probably do it after combat, but now our opponent has full information, so if they have some kind of answer, they could use it. But I don't think they will. They probably will just pop the map, get Tron online, and start dealing with us. The thing is, we're playing Lurrus, so we can actually get back whatever we cycle, especially with another land. We are in actually pretty good shape. Maybe I should play the Spellskite to redirect whatever they cast. Maybe play Oblivion Stone. They need 8 mana to cast Oblivion Stone and activate it. So if they do that, I will make sure to start putting all the counters into the Hangarback Walker, so we can then, you know, basically when they turn it on. Okay, that's a Karn, the Great Creator. They have 3. There's no way they can. I am not sure if we're playing against Eldrazi Tron or against. So there's no way they can bridge us, and I would like to put some pressure into them. So I'm gonna sacrifice with the Throne of Gadis Worker, put the counters onto the Hangarback, yeah, and then proliferate. So we actually have 5 damage onto the battlefield, so 5 power into the battlefield. This way we can put some pressure onto the Karn. Until the next turn. Okay, so they're just blasting it. They put an Eldrazi Displacer. So we are against Eldrazi Tron finally. That's okay to know, I guess. Yeah, it's a Nauseolith. We cannot really use any spells. I just need to put pressure on this Karn. That's the only way. That's the only way forward. So I'm just gonna attack with both into the Karn. They're most likely gonna block the Hangarback Walker. We'll get 3 Doctors, and then next turn hopefully we can get in and kill the Karn. Actually, I will play the Ozoliths first, so we actually recoup those counters. Yeah, I'm just gonna tap here. Then most likely after that I will get the Ballista down. Not that it matters. But basically against Karn the Great Creator, and this was an early Karn the Great Creator, this was on turn 3. Yeah, they block there, but we get the counters. Oh, maybe they don't. Yeah, they do. So, yeah, it doesn't matter which order we do this on. Yeah, so their thing, they have announced this power plant, they put into the battlefield. That's incredible for them because the next turn they have 1,000,000. They can actually get a Ballista down next turn. That will be extremely dangerous. And for that reason, I'm gonna play the Spellskite, just because it deals with Ballista. Like I cannot activate the abilities, but it has 4 toughness, so it will not die to Ballista so easily. If I play a Ballista for X equals 1, and then they just play a Ballista for X equals 5, actually. It's 4, 5, 9, so they can play for X equals 4 if they don't have any extra land. That would be very brutal. And we don't want that. We don't want brutal. We want... Yeah. I think Lurrus will need to carry us. I hope we can get rid of this count eventually. Okay, that's count. That's not the biggest deal, Ugin, because Ugin just makes dudes. Like, it cannot kill colored spells, right? So the minus only kills colored spells. It's 1 or more colors, so spells, what's that called? Yeah, maybe they have Dismember for whatever we put the counters on. I'm still gonna attack with everything. Okay, you may. So they could actually cast a Ballista for X equals 2. Interesting. Maybe get a liquid metal coating. Walking Ballista. So they can cast it for X equals... Oh, they have also Radiant Fountain. Jesus. So they can cast it for X equals 3 and kill all the Doctors, which is... It's pretty sad, honestly, if you ask me. But we don't do that. Oh, Thonet's here. Okay, that will take out our last. So that will take out our Ballista. It's not great. 2 mana. So this costs 2 less, so they only... Mega Ballista for X equals 2. This is a pretty brutal turn 4 by Tron, Eldrazi Tron. I mean, if you think about it, they had Tron. It's a Ravager, but Ravager doesn't really do much right now. Yeah, attacking with the Arcbound Worker just seems pretty bad. You can just block it here. I think I just need to attack with the Adopters. Is there a way I can put a counter on this? No. Everything is activated. So yeah, I'll attack with the Adopters. Try to put the counters onto one Adopter, see if that works. Sometimes people don't know that if you let this resolve, then you can respond to it. But yeah, they did respond, so maybe they can shoot the other Adopter. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just shoot it down. Yeah, well, at least we got rid of the Ballista. This is not looking great. This is not looking great. I'm gonna play the Lurrus this turn, just because it allows us to get some cards back next turn, and maybe it was an option to us to move the counters to the Arcbound Worker. That would have been a 5/5, and then we could attack. But then they can double block it. Actually, that's probably a better line. That was a bad line I took. I should move the counters either to the Arcbound Worker or to the Spellskite. Then we get as the Spellskite would not have mattered, right? Yeah, they can minus the Ugin to kill the Lurrus. Maybe that was a misplay by me. So actually they... Okay, interesting. The counters stay on the thing. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. And it doesn't lose abilities. So yeah, so it's gonna minus it. Yeah, maybe it was not a good idea to cast a Lurrus. Probably was not. Probably was better to get the Ravager online. Let's see what they play. I mean, there's only so much more we can take. Emrakul. Okay. They can... You know, I'm just gonna concede. We're not gonna beat this. The turn 5 Emrakul, not beatable. Okay, so we'll sideboard against this deck. Seal of Primordium to fight Charles of the Void, Nature's Claims, Pithing Needle for both Blast Zone and Convict the Creator. Fatal Push, not good. I mean, you can deal with Thornuts here. Let's see. Okay, so Welding Jar, obviously not a good idea. Spellskite is not great. I could see myself cutting one Spring Leaf Drum. I could see the Fatal Pushes, but what do I cut for the Fatal Pushes? That's kind of the issue, right? I think an Earth is good because this matchup becomes quite grindy in the end. Throne of God is great against Chalice, and it's generally great in this matchup, I think. Yeah, they played Emrakul on turn 5, guys. It was turn 3 cut, so turn 3 Tron, Karn the Great Creator, turn 4 Ugin, Thoughtnut Seer, Ballista, turn 5 Emrakul. Then they say Eldrazi Tron is dead. It's not. It is not at all. I could see myself cutting a land as well. We also were kind of starved for lands last game, so maybe it's not a good idea. I could see myself cutting another Springleaf Drum, just because Springleaf Drum, if they get down the Karn, it becomes extremely difficult to beat. And then it becomes an extremely useless card, I mean. The Springleaf Drum. Sometimes I say things and then I'm like, this didn't make any sense, mate. You gotta rethink. It's like, yeah, it's true. I gotta rethink. This hand, it's medium at best, but I think it's good enough to beat. Like, we have turn 1 Ozolist, turn 2 Hangarback, Turn 3 Arcbound Ravager with Llanowar Reborn. I mean, I think this hand is good enough actually. I don't think it's good enough to beat a 7-hand all out brutality like they did last game. But I think very few of our hands, like maybe with the Hardened Scales and maybe with some. Okay, this is Eldrazi Temple expansion map. This guy is amazing at drawing expansion map, much better than us. I think I always like to get Hangarback Walker down first and then the Ballista. Last turn. So yeah, next turn we can play Ravager and Llanowar Reborn. At least that's not Tron. It's Chalice on X=1. Well, I'm glad I played the Oscillate. Actually, I have answers for this in the deck, guys, so very happy about that. So Forest, that's good. So let's think for a second. Do we want to play this, or we want to put a counter on the? You know what? I think I just want to put a counter on the Hangarback Walker. There is no chance they play Crown of the Great Creator next turn, and I think one counter and the Hangarback will come a long way. So we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm gonna put a counter here. That's, by the way, the big difference going to play and draw in this matchup. We wanted to play first turn. First game it didn't matter, but so I like to put it now that they're tapped out, so they cannot respond to it with a dismember or something like that, or a special contortion, or any of those shenanigans. So yeah, we can pass the turn. There's nothing they can do. I like when they do this play that they play a special map and they don't activate it. That means that, okay, that's another tower. So that's a Thought Knots here, almost for sure. Okay, I actually prefer to protect the Ravager. They'll take the Walking Ballista. Kinda sucks. Yeah, it's an Inkmoth Nexus. I think we have a kill next turn. We definitely have a kill next turn. Could get down Lurrus. Totally could get down Lurrus. I'm gonna play the Inkmoth so it doesn't have a summoning sickness. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the same I did before. I'm just gonna pump now. Get the Lurrus down. Actually, I could sack our friend here, Hangarback. Make 3 Topters, move. Will be 3/5. Actually, I don't dislike this idea. Sacking our good old. Maybe it's a bit aggressive, but we really want to get onto the battlefield as quickly as possible. And we can get this back next turn, so now they have to deal with a lot of stuff. So now they need to think about this Inkmoth Nexus, they need to think about this Lurrus, they need to think about these Topters flying. So, and then I'm gonna go to combat, move the counters, and get to attacking. You know, put some pressure on them. Like if I don't do anything this turn, I just sit there looking at them. You know, they have time to assemble these game-winning combinations. This way they don't. And this way they're like, okay, next turn they can kill with Inkmoth. They can start looping Hangarback Walkers for a ton of counters and for a ton of Topters. That's a third to the tower, Jesus. So they could have Crown of the Great Creator. I'm not scared about that. Now we are on the battlefield. They could have all these dust, but they can't cast it. But all this dust is the only thing that lives with Lurrus. But that's not a problem. So I'm liking this line. I'm liking the aggressive line, letting them know. I think in this matchup the key is to commit to the battlefield. They have normally against Eldrazi Tron they have all this dust, and if you're playing another kind of deck, they can all this dust you. And that's pretty bad. I'll take it if he attacks with that, because then I can get back with the. I'm not gonna commit to the Inkmoth Nexus, as you can imagine. Just gonna play Llanowar Reborn. Cast this for. Should I not? Okay, I'll not do this like this. I'll do it like this. I can only cast it for X=1, of course, because we're not the first week of release. I can graft it. And I'll do the same thing again. I'm just sacrificing it. Moving counters to the Oswald, making some top tiers. Putting some counter here. Now if I move this as a 5-4, you know what? Actually, I couldn't activate the. I could actually put the counters over the Lurrus. That'd be kind of cool. Why not? Okay, they're just gonna sit. So you see, the key of this matchup is hit them before they are able to get on their feet, right? You don't want to be passive. You don't want to be passive. So I like the plan. I mean, we don't have an answer to Thoughtnuts here. We could have Fatal Push. We could on the draw. Maybe this Unearth could become a Fatal Push. You know, one, not a million. Maybe this. Yeah, actually, I could see cutting one Ancient Stirrings and getting. There's not much Ancient Stirring. Ancient Stirring is honestly only trying to find Arcbound Ravager or a construct this game. And you know, being on the draw and being able to answer this Thoughtnuts here in case it's fast, you know, it's a good thing. I like how many. Yeah, that was good. I think everything was good. They don't have much sideboard against anything. They have Chalice, but we have answers. Do I like anything better? Not Spellskite. Spellskite doesn't do it. I also like to side out the Springleaf drums because they're one mana. You know, I think I'm gonna set out the last Springleaf drum and bring in all the Fatal Pushes now that we're on the draw. I'm just very afraid of the turn 2 Thoughtnuts here. That's I think one of the ways we lose this game. By just them turn 2 Thoughtnuts seeing us and kind of stun block, blocking the path for our creatures to attack their dudes, right? So I used to bring 3 Dismembers when I was playing these with the traditional Hardened Scales, and I think Springleaf drum. It's really bad if it gets if we get counter created. So out with that, let's see. I don't have a very fixed way of sideboarding with Hardened Scales or with any deck actually. Because I feel you kind of have to read a bit of the situation and maybe your preconceived ideas of how the matchup was supposed to go from a year ago, they're not working anymore. You kind of need to update. It's not only like cards that are updated, but like playstyles that are updated. They keep 7 again. I mean, we have Metallic Mimic into Ballista, into Throne of Geth. Is it worth it to apply? I think this hand is pretty fine, but still no Hardened Scales. That makes me sad. If we do Hardened Scales turn 1, I would be very happy. Okay, no Expedition Map makes me happy. Okay, that's actually a good draw. I'm gonna play the Worker just to get into the battlefield. Somebody mentioned if we could maybe run also Brushland on top of Blooming Marsh so we don't get the top land or the Pain land. Probably not a bad idea. Chalice on X equals 1. So I'm very happy to have played this Worker. This is on 1 or on 0? It's on 1. Okay. If it's on 0, you cannot do the trick where you cast this for X equals 0. So I'm happy about this because it really is a card that doesn't do anything right now. Of course, it stops us from I'll say it. It stops us from casting Hardened Scales with right, but yeah. So this for 0. If they had cast it for 0, I would have been more. Yeah, I would have been a bit sadder. But yeah, they wasted, let's say, they used their turn 2 on basically a wasted card. They cannot get the Tron nowadays. Oh, they can get the this is called Matter Reshaper. So we draw a line. Line is a good draw. Fatal Push. Okay, I don't dislike this. Oh, actually, Fatal Push is the dead card with the Chalice. Well, Ancient Stirring is also a dead card. Springleaf Drum is a dead card. So what can we do? Maybe I like to play. Did they miss the land drop? They did, right? Wow. Okay. I wish this Fatal Push was live. Okay, we can play Throne of Geth. Attack with everything. Except the Ballista, maybe. Yeah, attack with everything, and whatever they block, I can move the counters from the worker. I need to block the worker, I'm just gonna sack it. Sounds okay. We need to keep out the pressure. So we just attack with everything. So let's see, if they block the ballista, then we move the counters of these. This will be a 2/2 and then a 3/3. That's not good enough, I think. And yeah, losing the ballista. Then actually we could shoot this down with the ballista. Probably that's a fine idea. If they block the ballista, or maybe we just attack with these 3. Well, they probably block here. We sacrifice. Actually, if they block here, we just let it go, right? Or we even sacrifice the mimic and proliferate the rest. Yeah, that's probably the best. I don't want to lose the ballista, so I'm just gonna do it like this. So if they block, I know whatever they block. Okay, they block here. In this case, I think I'm just gonna sacrifice it. Then I can put the counters over the ballista. Yes. Okay, I'll proliferate these 2 guys. Can actually proliferate Chalice to be a 2. I'll do that. Because next turn we can proliferate to put it at 3, and then all our draws are alive. So yeah. And that's the turn. Just need to be careful not to cast his Arcbound Ravager. They choose Eldrazi. I'm guessing they maybe have. Okay, they maybe have a Thornets here. Yeah. Not a big deal. They could take either the Fatal Push or the Ravager. None of them is extremely important right now. If they don't take the Fatal Push, we can Fatal Push this. They take the Fatal Push. So it was a good card to bring, maybe. Then our wastes. We can. I don't like sacrificing the mimic. Actually, what we can do. That's a nice line. We can sacrifice the. We can cast Lurrus for 3. That dodges this. Then we can sacrifice the Hangarback Walker, make 2 Topters, proliferate, and recast the Hangarback Walker for 0. And this put it at 3. I love this line. I'm gonna do that, so we're just gonna do black, white, black. Doesn't get countered by this. Okay. Then we will sacrifice. Could also shoot this down, but not really interested. So sacrifice the Hangarback Walker. Make 2 Topters. Proliferate. Proliferate also this. Sit down. The 4/4. Would I attack with this? Would I trade with a Walking? So the question right now is, do I want to attack with a Ballista? Oh, actually, we can cast this for 0, that's true. Yeah. Do I want to trade with the... So I'm just going to attack with the Ballista, I think. Put some pressure again. They're a 15. If they want to trade here, I'm almost happy. With Thornets here. You know, yeah, we lose the Ballista, but in exchange we draw a card. It's a Hardened Scales that we can actually cast next turn. And we can cast the Ballista for free next turn. Maybe it was a bit hasty to cast the Hangarback Walker, but I don't dislike it. Maybe they have another Thornets here. But they cannot cast a... Okay, they have a Dismember for the Lurrus. But it's countered by the Chalice! And they concede. Shame concede. They did not see that coming, I guess. Yeah, this is how brutal Throne of Geth is in this matchup. You really want to proliferate it as fast as possible. I actually had not thought about that until I saw the option, so that was lucky. But yeah, next turn you could see we play the Hardened Scales, we play a Ballista for free. We play a Ravager, and it's a snowball. They're at 11. They cannot win. They are lost. Actually, at that point, with Hardened Scales and the Ravager, we win. Even if they play something like a Cannon, the Great Creator, which they maybe didn't have the mana for, they're screwed. Yeah, so I was gonna put it like so if you're asking until when do you want to proliferate, I think proliferating until 4, the first chalice, until 5, the second chalice is the way to go. Proliferating chalice or 3 and 4 is also fine if you have already cast Lurrus. 4 prevents the Cannon, the Great Creator, prevents Dark Seer, which are their main threats. The rest you can deal with. Also, Dismember can be dealt with chalice as well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the match, and I'll see you for round 2.